Fred Bisci has been telling me about the daylight diet since I met him many years ago, and he's been telling me the importance of eating when it's light outside and the horrible things that happen to digestion when you eat during nighttime hours. Through your experience, eating when the sun goes down, eating late at night, it's not good for health and digestion, and it's one of the main areas people slip up in, you know, all over, but especially on a raw food diet you've seen over the years, right?
Absolutely. I think that, Paul, we've known each other a long time. We've been discussing this stuff for a long time. Absolutely. There's no two ways about it. The human body, see, the longer you're on a raw food diet, the less food you need, the less calories you need to have the same amount of energy. The amount of food you could consume 10 years ago will actually be too much food today, and actually, instead of energizing you, it'll probably put you to sleep. The same thing eating the wrong time of the day. The average person that's eating the standard American diet is so anesthetized by their diet, they won't even notice this. They can eat 3 o'clock in the morning, they're not going to feel that much difference because they're so toxic. But the cleaner you get, the more you realize that eating in between meals, and it doesn't make any difference what it is. I know a lot of people think that you can eat fruit because it's you know, kind of what they say, pre-digested, you can eat it every half hour. Well, it really doesn't work that way as you get advanced into the years. Because, you know, a lot of people that overdo any form of sugar are suffering from hyperinsulinism. I think fruit is a great food. I love fruit, I eat it myself. But the key is that your body is controlled by circadian rhythms, which controls your metabolism. And how it really works is the optic nerve in your eye is like the lens of a camera. It sends a message to, we'll say, your brain, but it's not that simple. It sends a message to an apostat to start to slow your metabolism so you can have a night's sleep. So if you're eating 12 o'clock at night, your metabolism is way down there. So no matter what you eat, you're not going to break it down completely. And you're going to have a lot of waste in your system, as if your body is, you're going to have undigested material, you're going to be fermenting, you can be creating all kinds of gases, and one of them is methane, which does circulate through your system, you know, which is definitely not good. So, you know, eating too early in the day and eating late at night, I mean, there's plenty of people that are surviving and existing and they're getting away with it, they think they're getting away with it, but you'll find out when you get older that you don't get away with it. And I found that out years ago. You don't get away with it. I used to like to eat late at night, you know, years ago when I was on a raw food diet. I used to get up, I used to train for running long distances, I used to burn everything up, so I didn't think it would ever affect me. Well, lo and behold, it did. Now I realize, for me in my life, eating late at night is not conducive to living a long life. And there's some very good stories in that book. It tells about people that did live long lives. You know, like our friend Luigi there, you know. So, you know, it's a funny thing that we mentioned. There's a gentleman in Paul's book named Luigi, but there's a man in my neighborhood named Luigi. I was telling Paul about is 104 years old, and a very, very unusual story because he come walking by my house and we got to talk to each other, and you know, I saw how spry he was and everything. The guy was remarkable. I never would have guessed that he was 104 years old. And we got to speaking, and I introduced myself, and he said his name was Luigi, you know. And I said, oh, that's wonderful. I said, do you live around here? And he said, oh, he lives over the hill. And I asked him, so I asked him one day, I said, how old are you? Because he was talking about the Depression, which I had lived the end of the Depression. And he said to me, 104, which is in Italian is 104. Well, one thing led to another. I won't bore everybody with the story. But I asked him about his diet, and he said, io non piaccio mangiare, which means I don't like to eat. This guy was on the type of diet that everybody talks about. He's eaten that way his whole life, and this guy was remarkable. So, there's a lot of interesting things here, and I do want to encourage people to read this book, because it really is an excellent book. So, it's worth a look. Thank you.
Thank you.